Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, LaMoney. There are 15 required cases for AP Gov. McCulloch versus Maryland is the first one, so let's get right to it. Alright, so real quick, before we get into this case, let's just take a moment and talk about the required Supreme Court cases and what you need to know for each of them. For each case, you need to know three things. You need to know the facts, the holding, and the constitutional principle. The facts refers to the background. What was the case about? The holding is how the Supreme Court ruled on that particular case, and the constitutional principle refers to what the court found in the Constitution to support the holding that they made. Got it? Alright, so let's get right to McCulloch versus Maryland. McCulloch versus Maryland is a unique case because the court is ruling on two separate issues in this case. So let's start with the facts. In 1791, at the urging of Alexander Hamilton,
the $10 founding father without a father.
Yeah, that Alexander Hamilton, Congress created the first national bank. Then in 1816, Congress created the second national bank. Now the thing was, national banks are controversial because Article 1, Section 8, where it lists the powers of Congress, it didn't say that Congress could actually create a national bank. Additionally, several states, including Maryland, issued a tax against the branches of the national bank within their state. McCulloch was just the dude that worked at the bank and he refused to pay that tax. So the court has to answer two questions. One, can Congress create a national bank? And two, can states tax the national government? In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court held that yes, Congress can create a national bank, and no, states cannot tax the national government. This was a huge victory for national government and a tremendous defeat for supporters of states' rights. But the question remains, what in the Constitution gives Congress the power to create a national bank? Because remember, Article 1, Section 8 didn't say that specifically. But at the end of Article 1, Section 8, after listing all the powers of Congress, there's something known as the Necessary and Proper Clause. And this says that Congress has power to make laws that are necessary and proper for carrying out their expressed powers. The Supreme Court here decided that means that Congress has implied powers, powers that are not directly stated in the Constitution. Now in this case, Chief Justice John Marshall basically redefines what necessary means. He says that if it's legitimate and appropriate, then Congress can do it. Therefore, this case tremendously increases Congress's power because they are no longer limited to only their express powers via the Necessary and Proper Clause. The opinion also says that states can't tax the national government. Well, why not? Well, here, the Supreme Court refers to the Supremacy Clause found in Article 6 of the Constitution. And this is the section of the opinion that specifically outlines that Congress has implied powers. Chief Justice Marshall points out that there's no phrase in the Constitution that excludes implied powers. If the framers intended for Congress to not have any implied powers, they would have said so. And he has a point. In fact, the Articles of Confederation did just that. In Article 2, it stated that everything not expressly delegated to the federal government would be reserved to the states. So under the Articles of Confederation, Congress was specifically not given implied powers. But since the Constitution didn't do that, Chief Justice Marshall ruled that Congress can, and in fact does, have implied powers. According to the Supremacy Clause, the national government is superior to state governments when the two come into conflict. Therefore, states cannot tax the national government. So the big takeaway is that McCulloch versus Maryland is a landmark federalism case that provided a resounding victory for supporters of a stronger central government and a major defeat for those who support states' rights. That's it for this video, so until next time, this has been a LaMoney production. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. Make sure you hit that like button, and if this is the first time you're finding my channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the great content I've created to help you prepare for the AP test. I have videos on all the required cases, the documents, and all the course content. I've also created something called the Ultimate Review Packet. Check it out if you want. I'll see you guys in the next video.